The trees weren't just trees anymore. They were hiding places, death traps. Landmines waited under the soil, and artillery rained down with no warning. Among the German soldiers was a young officer, Leutnant Friedrich Lengfeld, just 23 years old. He had seen enough of war to be hardened, but something in him stayed soft, compassionate, human. One morning, not long after dawn, a sound cut through the stillness. A voice, weak, desperate, and unmistakably American. A wounded U.S. soldier had stepped into a minefield. Now he lay trapped, crying out for help over and over, his voice echoing through the forest like a ghost. From their trenches, both German and American soldiers heard him. They knew the place. Wild Sow, they called it. A minefield so deadly, no one dared move. No one, except one. Leutnant Lengfeld couldn't ignore the cries. He didn't see an enemy lying in that minefield. He saw a fellow human being in pain. He called for a stretcher team. He put on a Red Cross armband, the symbol of mercy, even in war. And he stepped into the danger, slowly, carefully. Every step was a prayer. But fate is not always kind to the brave. Before he could reach the American soldier, Lengfeld triggered a mine. The explosion threw him to the ground. His team rushed to pull him out. The rescuer, now the one needing rescue. They carried him behind the lines, but his wounds were too severe. That afternoon, November 12, 1944, Leutnant Friedrich Lengfeld died. The American soldier he tried to save also died. No one even knew his name. But the men who witnessed Lengfeld's act never forgot it. 50 years later, in 1994, American veterans of the 22nd Infantry Regiment returned to the Hürtgen Forest, not to mark victory, but to honor a man who had fought against them, and yet gave his life for one of their own. At the German War Cemetery in Hürtgen, they placed a memorial stone. Its words are simple: "Here rests a German soldier who gave his life for his enemy." The Bible says in John chapter 15, verse 13, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." Now imagine giving your life for your enemy. This act, it reminds me of someone else, Jesus Christ, who didn't just die for his friends. He died for us while we were still his enemies. Romans 5:8 says, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." Lengfeld's sacrifice is a rare glimpse, a living echo of that kind of love. Love that defies hatred. Love that bridges battle lines. Love that lays down its life, not because it must, but because it chooses to. Friedrich Lengfeld was not a hero by the world's standard. He didn't capture a stronghold or win a major battle, but he did something far greater. In the horror of war, he chose mercy. He saw not an American, but a man in need, and he gave his life answering that call. In war, such stories are rare, but they remind us of something eternal, that compassion is never wasted, that courage wears many faces, and that even in the darkest forest, one man's light can still shine through. Thank you for watching Inspiration Pilgrims. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, even in a world torn by war, love still conquers.
Even for the enemy, in the heart of a forest torn by war, where mercy fell too far to reach, a cry for help broke through the cold, a voice beyond the breach. He wore the cross upon his sleeve, not to fight but just to heal. He walked the path no soul would dare, each step a prayer made real. Greater love has no one than this, to lay his life down, take the risk. But oh, what grace that he would be, a man who died for the enemy. He gave his all without a name, a soldier lit by heaven's flame. cost was high, the silence fell like snow. But heaven saw that final step, a seed of love to grow. And though the man he tried to save would also breathe his last, the world would know that even war could not erase the past. Greater love has no one than this, to lay his life down, take the risk. But oh, what grace that he would be, a man who died for the enemy. He gave his all without a name, a soldier lit by heaven's flame. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. His blood, it flowed upon the cross. An enemy, he called us friend. Love that never ends. Greater love has no one than this. And still